Hello and welcome to Pixel Street Videos. This is Next Gen Week. John, how are you doing on this fine Wednesday?
I am doing good. We are recording this on Wednesday, November 11th, 2020, a day before the PlayStation 5 releases, but even more importantly for this video, a day after the Xbox Series X released, as you can see by the box in Joel's background.
Yeah, right here. Right in this background. I unboxed this right here on our YouTube channel
This
yesterday.
baby! It's heavy.
Quick,
She big.
So for those of you that don't know, if you can't read the title of this video, we are just going to be talking about our initial impressions of the Xbox Series X, as we both have it. Connor has it as well. He's just been very busy as a GameStop manager, so as you probably imagine,
We don't want to hear his opinions anyway.
He's answering a lot of phone calls of people asking, hey, do you have the Xbox Series S? Or, hey, do you have the Xbox Series X?
And
hey, can I come pre-order a PS5?
No.
Hey, are you going to have extra PS5s on Thursday? So that's been his life, so he is excused from this video. But yeah, we're going to talk about our initial impressions. Go check out the unboxing I did. That box right there was unboxed right here on this YouTube channel. And I did unbox this Master Chief statue as well, right there.
It's an awesome statue. I actually didn't know about that until you put up that video. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's funny that I thought I brought it up to you guys, but yeah,
I did.
I didn't know. I didn't know about the statue either until my buddy's like, "Yo, this statue's up for pre-order." It was the day the Xbox went up for pre-order. He's like, "Yo, this statue just came up for pre-order on Best Buy's site." So I pre-ordered it. Granted, you could probably go to Best Buy right now and find it because, like, I doubt it sold out. So I think this was their alternate to doing a collector's edition for Halo.
I'm fine with that.
Because
you said it was $60, right?
It was $60 for this, or it would have been, I think, $110 for this with Halo in the Steelbook for the game.
And this is strictly Halo Infinite, not Master Chief Collection.
No, yeah, strictly Halo Infinite. Like it says on the packaging here, Halo Infinite on the front and on the top, huge. So
that's
strictly
awesome.
Halo Infinite. But yeah, let's talk about the Series X, man.
Yeah.
What do you think?
All right. So my first impressions are, it's the Xbox Series or Xbox One X.2.
Yeah, I mean, like I get. So what makes it next gen is the solid state drive, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've known that for a while.
Yeah, exactly. And like the One X, yeah, it was a huge step up from the One S at the time. Granted, it had all the 4K capabilities and stuff. This just kind of takes that to the next level, with ray tracing being a thing now, and as well as the solid state drive. The load times are insane. John, what's the first game you loaded when you set up your Xbox?
I went through a lot of games. So after I got everything upgraded and installed, it was probably Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And if you're interested, you can go. This will be on our YouTube channel. I put up a video comparing the load times between Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the Xbox One X and the Series X. And yeah, there's a pretty big difference. Even just starting up the game, when you go from the My Games and Apps and you press A to get into the game, I want to say the Series X starts up the game about 10 seconds faster. But once you hit the button to actually get into the game itself from the main menu, the Series X loaded. I got into the game in 15 seconds. On the One X, it was a minute long before I got on there. So very substantial time differences there.
Yeah, I mean it's insanely fast, and it's very impressive. For me, the first thing I did when I got it, well, obviously I recorded an unboxing video, and then I set it up over at my TV, my LG OLED, and it took a long time for me to transfer games. I found it pretty confused. So you could set it up through the app, and that was very seamless. It was very easy, but to transfer games that were on my external drive on my One X to the Series X, sorry, it took a long time. And in doing that, after I transferred them all, it still, for some reason, I hit move on them, and for some reason, it decided to copy select few of them. So there's still, say, Gears Tactics, for example. I had pre-downloaded it on my One X because I knew it's a game I want to finish on my Series X. And when I moved it to the Series X, it's still on that external hard drive, so it just copied the files over. And then
I had.
Sorry, I was gonna say another step to that is that once you do that, then if you say for Valhalla, I transferred it, and then when I hit A to play, it's like, oh, sorry, you got to download like a 64 gig like update because it's enhanced now. And that update is essentially just re-downloading the whole game from what I've read online.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that whole process was a bit confusing, because on some games it copies it. Well, okay, you have your Xbox One version and then the Series X version, and that's cool and everything. The thing I don't get is if you don't want to upgrade, you can't play that Xbox One version, or at least I couldn't find a way to, because I was like, okay, because of internet handicaps around here, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna update Gears 5 yet, but I have it on my hard drive. So I was like, okay, what if I just want to start that up? Every time I would try and get into it, it would pop up the thing saying, hey, this is an upgrade to make it better. It's 90 gigs or whatever. I'm like, I don't want to download that, but it's right there on the console and I can't play it. Where Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I did it, and I'll get to the Assassin's Creed size here pretty soon. That interesting.
he definitely saw
but
me.
but Ori and the Will of the Wisp, when I upgraded that, it didn't copy or anything. It actually moved my file from my hard drive to the internal. But Assassin's Creed would copy. So I was like, I don't understand.
I think there's still bugs in this system that need to be worked out for sure. Because another thing is that if you download games and turn your Xbox off like you would the One X, like have it go idle, it'll just stop downloading those games. I don't know if you noticed that. Like for me, like I started downloading that Valhalla update, and I was like, okay, I'll turn the Xbox off. It's gonna take 40 minutes to an hour or so on my internet, and like I wanted to edit the unboxing anyway. So I turned it off, and when I came back, it had not moved. It was still at like 4%, and it was very frustrating. And I was talking to my buddy Tony, and he was saying the same thing. He turned his Xbox off for like hours to go eat lunch, thinking, okay, I'll come back and I'll be able to play my games, what I want to play. He turned it back on and nothing had downloaded.
That is interesting. I didn't notice that, but I pretty much had my Series X on all day yesterday because I was writing guides and articles about it, so I wouldn't see anything like that. Overall, the updates themselves are awesome from what I've seen. I have had one problem. Dead by Daylight, I couldn't play. I got into the menus, and as soon as I would click on like play as a survivor, the game would just freeze and crash. So I think that's more on the game itself than the console. Everything else was fine. I did have an issue with controllers though, and before we go into that, let's show off the Series X controller. It's nice. It's a little bit different than the One controller, which I also have here. As you can see, this one's the Series X. This one is the One.
I will say, I think the Series X controller feels so much better.
It does feel better. The issue I had, though, and I had it multiple times last night while playing Valhalla, is it was like the controller would just freeze out of nowhere. So, like, I would be playing, and it would say, reconnect controller, but it still said my controller was on, and I couldn't do anything with that. I couldn't pull up the guide. To turn it off, I had to like pull out the batteries and everything.
Batteries,
yeah. It just like went completely dead for a moment. But the weird thing is, I switched over to my Pro controller, not Pro controller, the Elite 2 controller, and it did the same thing. It wasn't like terrible or anything, but it would just like I'd be playing, it would randomly happen, and then I'd switch controllers and it would be fine. It only happened in Valhalla, but that one feels more like something with the Xbox than the game itself.
Yeah.
Have you had any bugs like that?
The only bug I've had really is that download bug. There
Okay.
was there when it first came out. I was trying to sign into my account, and I think Xbox Live was having problems because
Yeah.
everybody was trying to get on. So I couldn't like add my account to the Xbox at first. But once I got around that, it was fine. I do want to give a shout out to Kenny. He listens to the show. He watches our podcast. He, he's frequently in the Discord, as you know. He got his Series X yesterday. He plugged it in, turned it on. He started the transfer of all of his files, like we were just talking about, to the internal drive, but he didn't take the day off. I work with him, so he went back to work. He's working remote, and then when he came back later to play, it just wouldn't turn on. The Series X would not turn on, right. And he at this point, as of right now, he has troubleshooted everything. Like me and our other friend, we were trying to tell him try plugging into a different HDMI port, try plugging into a monitor, all this stuff. He got it to turn on a few times, but every time he would try and launch a game, it would just shut off every single time. And
that's weird.
It's even to the point to where he'll turn it on. Like I told him, I was like, just turn it on, let it run, see how long it takes to shut off. It shut off after 5 minutes. He's at the point now to where he's deleted all the games off of it. He's only downloaded one game, and still he launches that one game and it'll crash.
Has he factory reset it?
Not yet. I think that's what he was going to try and do tonight.
Okay.
But honestly, it sounds like
he might just have a defective console.
Yeah, it sounds like it's defective, or I don't know. Maybe the solid state drive in it is just bad. And seeing as how it seems like this console relies on it pretty heavily, that could be the issue. But luckily, he ordered 2 when they came up for pre-order, and when he got his confirmation from Amazon that it was going to show up on launch day, he tried canceling his Target order, but they wouldn't let him because it was already in the process. Yeah. So luckily he has another one coming, so he could just return the defective one if it turns out to be defective.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything like that. Really, the only issues I've seen online were just people having issues signing in at first, but as we said, everyone was overloading the servers then, and that's just gonna happen with any launch, really, when you have to deal with servers. There's a lot of fake stuff going around the internet right now. Have you seen the smoke thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you see a video of an Xbox Series X and a lot of smoke coming out of it, don't worry, it's not on fire. People are just messing with their vape pen and making the vape smoke come out. Looks really cool, though. I've also seen the ping ball thing.
Yeah, the ping pong ball?
Yeah, I want to grab one and do that. Speaking about the fan and stuff, though, I'm I had heard from influencers and everything that this game was this console was really quiet, but I'm really amazed just how quiet it is with just how big of a fan it has at the top of that. I would just sit over it and try and listen to it and just barely hear that fan running.
Yeah, while I understand why that's such a big issue for people is the noise of the console. I would say I do 99% of my gaming with this headset on. Mm-hmm. So I will literally never hear it, but I understand why that would be a problem.
Well, it's still so cool. With my Xbox One X, at first, yeah, that thing was pretty much just as quiet. It was very quiet. But as time went on and we started getting these bigger games, Assassin's Creed Odyssey was the first one that I really noticed it in, that I would be playing and that fan would just start going up really loud. It was kind of nice having the switch over to the Series X and just playing a game that looks as beautiful as Valhalla.
Yeah, hold on. Let's take a minute and just talk about how great Valhalla looks on this fucking Xbox.
It looks amazing.
Dude, the locked 60 frames per second in 4K is insane.
Absolutely. There are a few issues with it's gonna get an update sooner or later to fix little graphical issues that I've noticed, but other than that, it looks absolutely amazing. And the thing that gets me the most about this is even that Series X version, the enhanced version, is under 50 gigabytes to install. That is just blowing my mind.
It's a huge game.
Yeah,
It's a massive
it's
game.
massive. It's got so many details to it and everything. You look at okay, I got a code for the NBA 2K21 the next generation version, which is just a basketball game. Like, you're not loading in a huge open world or anything. It's just the basketball court and the fans. That game is over 100 gigs to download on its
Really?
own. Yeah,
That's
it's like
insane.
102. Like, that just blows my mind away. That give Ubisoft all the crap you want for how they like make games and everything, but like how they managed to get all that in under 50 gigs, like that's amazing. That's like Breath of the Wild level of like just optimization and just getting it to work and look beautiful.
Yeah, I mean Valhalla, it plays great. Like the
Mhm.
motion in the game is so fluid. You could tell they kind of, I mean, not to get too into it, but like they kind of redid some of the combat system in a way that they
Yeah.
made it feel very Viking-esque. Like it's very brutal, I would say,
Mhm.
compared to,
You can like
how
actually
Odyssey was.
decapitate people and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, stuff like that. But moving on, the very first game I actually played was Dirt 5. And the only
Okay.
reason that is because that was the first one to transfer over to the hard drive and download the next gen update. And I was so impressed as soon as I like flipped that switch for 120 hertz 4K mode, 4K 120. Man, that was insane. Like
Mhm.
I never thought I would be able to do that on a TV. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I feel like my PC, I have a RTX 2070. I feel like that would struggle, like a 1440p 120 hertz or 120 frame game. But the fact that I can do it on my TV in my living room, like that is awesome. Like I immediately could tell even in the menu, like just how crisp, how fast like the refresh rate on it was. It was awesome.
Yeah. I had a very similar occasion when I updated Ori and the Will of the Wisp, because that's got 4K 120 frames per second, and that looked amazing. Like, that game is already absolutely beautiful, but playing it on the Series X just takes it to a completely different level.
Yeah, I mean, other than those two, the only other thing I've played really is Destiny 2. I got into Beyond Light,
Hmm.
and I think I'm gonna play some more of that tonight before I do some other stuff later. But yeah, that it looks great. The load times in that, it's insane how much that reduces, even though the game does not have a next gen update as of right now.
Hmm.
That comes out in December, I want to say, like beginning middle December. But yeah, it's insane. Like you fast travel from one place to another, like on the same planet you're on, and it's like within 5 seconds you're there. You're spawned in and good
Oh
to
yeah.
go.
Fast travel in Valhalla is really fast as well with that.
Okay, yeah, I haven't fast traveled in that game yet.
Yeah, that game does it really well. Maybe a little longer than 5 seconds. It might be like 7 or 8 seconds, but it's
Not enough to
not.
notice.
No, we're not talking like Odyssey levels of load times here.
Yeah,
Um,
you're not pulling out your phone to check Twitter because you fast
yeah,
traveled somewhere.
yeah, very much. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. There were a lot of games that I would just transfer from my hard drive to the internal just to see how fast it loads. So Overwatch, I did. Loading into a map on Overwatch takes like 2 seconds.
Wow.
Where before Overwatch doesn't take long to load at all.
Yeah.
It's probably like 15. But like
still, 2 seconds
I
is
still
like
did
nothing.
it. Like if you're playing a match that you really want to get a character before other people, there you go. Like I was there. I select the character and I was just sitting there waiting for other people to get into the
That's
game.
actually really funny because I could see people like complaining about that on Reddit and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so did you get any accessories other than just the Xbox itself, or did you only get?
No,
the
I didn't. I need a new headset. This is the headset I usually use for my gaming, and it's starting to go out. I want to grab one. I just haven't yet.
What are you thinking of getting? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know. I want a wireless headset. I've never had a wireless headset, but I can't really say what I want. I need to look into it.
Just for reference, the Arctis ones, they just came out with new ones. I think the 7X, I think you can use it on your PS5 as well. But the PS5 version of the same headset you cannot use on Xbox. I don't know, it's weird. But either way, I did get the play and charge adapter for my controller. just because I don't really have many USB-C cables as it is, so that came with one, which is nice to charge. And I also got that Seagate solid-state drive that came in the mail yesterday as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot you ordered that.
Yeah, and that thing, it's nice, man. I was surprised how small that thing is. Like, it is literally like the same size as the memory card from the Xbox 360 when it first launches.
Look, I don't know how well anyone will be able to see this, but the that expansion goes right in there.
Yeah,
on the back.
It's maybe 2 inches wide, like that slot 2 inches by 2 inches.
I would say that's just a little bit thinner than a like a PlayStation 2 memory card from back in the day.
Yeah, it is so small. But yeah, the fact that that thing has a terabyte on it and it's the same speed. Basically, what I did is I just started transferring all of my games that were on my external drive over. And whatever doesn't fit, I'll just delete because I don't really need that many games.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I've got so many games that I just need to delete anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the accessories I got. I would have been tempted to buy that cosmic blue controller when I picked it up if I had gone in the store to pick it up, but it was just kind of curbside pickup at Best Buy.
Yeah, I've already got, like I said earlier, I have the Elite Series 2 controller, so I don't need another controller. Most of what I've been playing on it is with the controller that comes in the box, just to kind of play with it and everything. And one thing I want to really mention is just how loud this controller is when you're like pressing buttons. It's very clicky.
I can hear it.
Yeah, and that's with my my gain turned down on my what are these?
Elgato Wave 3.
The Elgato Wave 3, yeah. These things are loud. Chad Mike Innes, one of our friends from Respawning Fire, he put up a video yesterday complaining about how loud the clicking is. Connor, I know, I was talking to him about this yesterday. He said he loves the clickiness. I'm not crazy about it. I also don't like clicky keyboards and everything.
Yeah, I like how clicky it is personally.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a deal breaker or anything for me. It's just I really noticed just how loud it is, comparing that to the Xbox One, but it's whatever. Not a deal breaker.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I think we've talked about all we can, really. It's fast. I'm curious to see kind of what other bugs are out there that we don't even know about. Like, I'm sure there's some stuff. There always is. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this has been kind of our review in progress, our first impressions, if you will, of the Xbox Series X. I did check, and my PS5 is scheduled to come tomorrow now. So cool. We will, all three of us, right? Connor got one too. We will all have the PS5.
Think he did.
We'll all have the PS5, so we'll be talking about that on this week's episode of the podcast. Any last words you have, John?
No. The Series X is exactly what we thought it would be. It's fast, and like I said at the beginning, it's Xbox One X.2. Like it's pretty much the way the One X was like a mid-generation leap for the Xbox One. This is just kind of the second step of that, and it's not very exciting for a lot of people because I think it'd be more exciting if Halo Infinite was out right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But with no like exclusive or anything, it's just like okay, this is a really cool upgrade, and I'm excited and I'm having fun with this. The PlayStation 5, we'll talk about it later and everything, but like I feel a little more of that next generational leap with that, I think, because of the games that are coming.
Not only that, but I think the controller makes a big difference too.
The controller is a huge difference there.
Yeah. They took a big leap in the design of their controller, and like the triggers in it. What I've seen of it is very impressive.
Yeah, with the PS5, you're getting a completely different experience from the PS4, I think, mostly because of that controller and everything. With the Xbox Series X, you're just getting a better version of what you were playing before. And that's fine. That's really cool, and I love it. But it's just not exciting, I guess. So, it is what it is. I think it was definitely worth the money. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Well, this has been our first impressions of the Xbox Series X. For more, stay tuned later this week. We're going to have more videos up as we kind of round out the next gen week. We get the new PS5 tomorrow, which is pretty crazy. Absolutely. am excited to see how big that thing actually is in person.
Yeah, I'm definitely putting it right next to my Series X to see like
Yeah,
the
because
size
like
difference.
the thing is, you see these pictures online, you see videos, and it's hard to tell. Like you're like, okay, that's a big thing, but like it's hard to really gauge it until you see it. Like the Series X is bigger than I thought it would be.
The Series X is heavier than I
Yeah,
thought it would be.
that's one thing I said
It's
in my unboxing is that it was heavy.
yeah. Oh, and a shout out to that unboxing. The box for the Series X itself and like the wrapping and everything in it, I absolutely love the way that it came in. Like it was
very
nice
accessible
and tight and beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's about all we have to say with our first impressions here.
Yep. We'll see you at the end of the week for the podcast, or if you want to check out more videos, we will have more up throughout the week.
Absolutely. If you like the video, leave a like, comment down below if you're getting any of the next gen consoles, what you think of them, and subscribe to see any of our future videos.
Bye.
Bye.